Hey, it's Josiah Novak, and welcome to the True Transformation Podcast, the top fitness podcast for men who want to get ripped, naturally boost testosterone levels, and use fitness as a tool to not only look and feel better, but improve all areas of life in the process. Welcome to the show. Buckle up. Life moves fast. Let's make it count. Jamie Morocco. I want to ask you, like, in our industry, there's so many mistakes that we see people make every day, right? And a lot of it is just being led in the wrong direction. What are some of the biggest, I guess, false beliefs that women who come to you who want help, what are some of the things they come into your program with that you help them with immediately?
Well, I think that we have a job in the industry, people like you and me, and there's a ton of great coaches out there, that we have to reset expectation, because every day and every night they're bombarded with messages of like, lose 10 pounds in 14 days. So if they feel that they're not achieving that, they almost feel like a failure. So I feel like from a belief standpoint, like you mentioned, it's like an expectation reset. Like, yes, this process might take longer. However, it's going to last forever. Like, this is a forever thing versus you lose 30 and gain 40, then you lose the 40 and it's harder and then you gain 45. Like that to me is like the number one shift that has to occur. And I would say the other thing is that you have to shift from a very victim-based mindset to a very empowered-based mindset. And I'll explain what I mean by this, but like when I was overweight, I was blaming other people. I was blaming my environment. I was blaming my body. Like I was literally blaming everything else except taking responsibility for myself. And it doesn't matter what your goal is. You have to assume total and complete responsibility for your outcome. And it's really from that place, that's how we get empowered, and that's how we create true change versus like putting blame on external factors or saying I'm too busy, I'm too this is going on. Like, you know, the more that we create excuses for ourselves, the more we stay the same. So I would say that's another belief that has to shift for people. And I would say the third thing is kind of what we touched on in realizing that, and it just sometimes I kind of shake my head a little bit, not at people, because I think there's a big misinformation in the industry, but there's a lot of belief of like, oh, if I just have that macro calculator, that's the thing. If I just download that Pinterest PDF, like that's the thing. And it's like true transformational change requires you to go deeper within yourself. And oftentimes that means that you need a coach or a mentor along the way. And Lord knows I've used them. I use coaches all the time. I have several now for different areas of my life. But it's like sometimes we're too in our own fog and haze to see the path in front of us. And that's where, if you really want to make a big change in your life, you're not going to find it in a macro calculator. You know, funny enough, we live in the information age. We can get any information we want, yet 66% of the US is overweight. And I'd say like 85% are unhappy with their weight, at least that. So I think those are the three shifts that people need to take, and kind of going along with this idea of you know, a coach and making a big change. It's like people look at this kind of stuff like, oh, workouts, good food for me. Those are expenses. Like we have to shift the way we're thinking about our health and our goals. If you work on a goal and you achieve that goal, you've invested in becoming a better person. So it's like we have to almost shift the way we're thinking about getting the tools to help us. These are not expenses. These are investments. It's like you buy a house, you buy a piece of property because it is an investment in your future. And same thing with this.
Thanks for listening to the True Transformation Podcast.
Make sure to subscribe and leave us a review. Come back next time.